And welcome back to the channel, an impromptu teardown. This arrived at Tech Towers, no one wanted it. So, it's part of a cordless BT phone, charging point there. We have some batteries, get them out of the way. It's a really 300 milliamp hour nickel metal hydrides, high power, rechargeable. Don't know how old they are. It looks like a Phillips or positive drive, one of the two. We'll try a random screwdriver bit. That fits. And 2 screws. Can't see more. Obviously not too old. UKCA. So it's not too old. It probably could have been repurposed.
One battery charge later.
Alright, we've taken the screws out. Can't see what's holding it together now. Probably clipped, but I don't have a spudger. So I'll do the old-fashioned lever it with a screwdriver. Oops. Aha. Push in there. Alright, levers that bit up. Ah, there we go. The antenna. Nice how they don't use any sockets. Bring that over there maybe. Tweak the focus. That's about as best as it's going to get. Remove those. Oh, that was the microphone, which is part of that. I know what it is. That's the speaker for for hands-free. That's the earphone for just holding it to your head. The microphone's down here. Oops. Display is held on down there. It's trapped under there. And if it's soldered on. Oh, that's obviously the, I don't know if you can see that. The LEDs sit into this silver papered area. Oh, there's a piece of plastic on the back. So the LEDs are in this gap here, and obviously the light reflects off there, bounces along here, and there's a can we see this if I get close enough and in focus? Not sure if you can see it. Can you see it? Oh, you can fully see it there. It's little tiny indents, and I suppose that's to make the light going down the plastic hit them and come up and come upwards. So let's go back down there again. Back right. So that's how the display works. Very nifty. Used to use sticky tin foil in the past to do the same thing. In Perspex displays, you can't put the bulbs underneath the lettering because it will get bright. The letters won't get lit up correctly. And also you can't put the bulbs where you need. You have to put the bulbs where you can and rather where they want them. And so you use light pipes and tin foil to reflect the light round corners better than things. So we used to make panels like that. I wish I still had a panel, but I don't have any of the panels anymore. And that's obviously to give it a nice white illumination, and then a little bit of, I suppose that could be a polarization filter. No, it doesn't look like it. Oh well, not sure what that is. Alright, the display is sweated on. Stop the recording. So this is the back side, well the front side of the board if you're looking through here. And the buttons. This did work perfectly, but the owner decided that she didn't want to throw it away because it's got her numbers on it, didn't know how to do a factory reset. So I said, well don't worry, I'll tear it down, show it to all you, and I'll take the memory chip off, because I'll just show that up in the corner up there, this chip, there's nothing on this chip, and we'll do a close-up on that one, and that's about it. Little bent aerial, and turn it over. I could do a close-up of two LEDs, but you've seen LEDs, but I did notice an issue down here, in which case I shall pop up a little video up there and we'll have a look at that. Nothing to write home about for this, just a speaker glued in and the battery. So this will all go in the scrap bin, well, recycling. I think I'll take the caps off here because they might be useful. and I'll take the memory chip off. Nothing on that at all, just a black blob and a crystal, which is probably useless. So I'll just take that off. So hopefully all the memory, all the phone numbers will be on that. Take that off, and it can go in the recycling. Well, I didn't show the taking the component. I didn't show taking the components off, as I didn't think it'd be that interesting to see me unsolder them. But I did cannibalise that lid, and I'll bring in the microscope so that we can have a better look at that. Right, here's a picture of the chip that's underneath cover and the whole pile of capacitors that surround it. So might be interesting to look up what a DE19RF19ZCNC is, and if that's a date, 2011, then it's been around for a bit, because I don't know when UKCA came in, but I'm sure it wasn't 2011. Or maybe the other date, is that it, the 2135? That's probably more like it, 35 week of 21. And now the rest of it can go in the bin. Well, I did a web search for this part, this DSP Group chip, and couldn't find any data sheets. Just found it was used in lots of DECT or DEC and voice over IP devices. So drew a blank here with this one, folks. Alright, I thought we'd start on the base station. It has a connection for the phone line and a connection for the power supply. Again, UKCA and CE mark, so it can't be that old. So too big. One screw. Doesn't want to come out. Nope. So where's it going to separate at the front? So get the old spudger, as we like to call it, screwdriver. Oop, there goes the screw. Oh, there we go. Let's back it out a bit. That's better. That's right, might need soldering iron to separate the halves. Saves cutting it, I suppose. I could cut it. Just wait for the iron to warm up. I hadn't moved it, so it will take a few seconds to warm up. Not the best way of putting wires on, you know, it should have gone through a hole, but I don't suppose this vibrates much. Right. More screws. It's unusual. More screws holding the keyboard on than there is holding the case together. Right. Nice injection moulded rubber facing with conductive buttons. An LED, single LED. That's about a bit. The difference with this one is it's got twin aerials. The actual phone only had single aerials. This one has twin. Has it got the same sort of chips? So first of all, we'll look at that one, and then we'll look at that one. Oh, let's just randomly move around the chips, I suppose. So let's bring the microscope in. Microscope up there. Get the light on the surface on this thing. Right. So what's this first chip? This is a really bad microscope thing. It's just coming loose all the time. B24C64. That's obviously a memory chip. And then we have another chip on board. Is it a chip on board? It's hard to say. Possibly. It's got the outline for a proper chip on the outside, and it's got the ceramic. You've got the plasticky blob. So it's probably chip on board. What have we got here? L8006. That looks like another EEPROM. And then another shielded device. I'll dig that out in a minute. Rectifier, full bridge rectifier. So by looking at that, I would say the power supply is an AC power supply. What else we got? Anything magical about that chip? BRA94, might look up that. .20V varistor, and nothing else of real interest. Little 3 terminal regulator, probably a 3 volt or a 5 volt. A 117, so that's an adjustable one. So there have to be some resistors around here to set the adjustment. That's about it. Nothing on the back. So I'll turn the microscope off for a second. Move it out of the way. And I'll just find a way in. Oops, I'll just rip it off the board. I just want to see if it's the same as the chip in the phone. This is stiff. Right, that's off with a bit of track as well. Let's bring the microscope in, bring it back on. Not much of any use. I shall take the EEPROMs off, and then the rest can go in the bin. So that's the base station teardown. If you like what you see, subscribe. It don't cost anything, and it helps my channel grow. Click on the notification bell so that you get notified. And if you like it, hit the like button. And I'll see you on the next one.